Hello, beautiful friends and family, and welcome to Lunation, Lemurian Lunation here for the 12th moon of this cycle. We had two full moons in October, so in this 11th month, we will be celebrating the 12th moon. I will be doing one more of these in this program next cycle, and then something new will begin. So this November, as we call it on the Julian calendar, cycle moon, full moon, comes along at the beginning of what's known in astrology and astronomy as the eclipse season, so that there are several eclipses, one following another. So this is the beginning, the first one. So what this eclipse is giving us is an opportunity to really feel ourselves shedding layers that no longer serve us, things that we want to leave behind. And, sometimes we don't always do that because we want to. We do that because we have to. But I find it's much nicer to have it be my idea or your idea than being pushed into it by some outside force in the cosmos or society or whatever it is. It's like an opportunity, and yet it's not a surprise. So the eclipse season about shedding, we may feel a little vulnerable because of that. A good metaphor would be like cleaning your closet, or this may be a good time to do that, or take on a project that you've been putting off and get it out of your life. So a lot of times, I know for me, when I clean out an area, I get rid of things that I had a really good reason for holding on to, and they still are there and they haven't served me. And so I let them go, whatever they are. And I say thank you for serving me as long as you did. Go into the world and be with someone else, serve someone else in whatever way. So we can't really create the opening that the new moon eclipse creates if we're staying in that sort of full closet scenario. So allow the shedding to happen, allow what's underneath, and really trust in the divine to provide you with what's next. You may not have any idea what will go into that closet of yours, or a part of your life or your physical routine. You may just have to let go and trust that Spirit has the perfect plan for you. Now, this moon and this eclipse is a very strong feminine energy. I love to talk about that, as you know. So, how can we nurture ourselves? And this is for men too, is to allow that feminine energy to really just bathe us, to nurture us and nourish us as we go through this cycle, as we let go, as we see what may or may not be ahead that we don't know. Feel that it's okay, that we are cared for. We are nourished and nurtured by the divine feminine, especially now, especially in this moon. So it's a beautiful thing. And, we're here on earth to experience all of these things. This is also a good time for realigning with what is our true destiny, our true purpose. We may have been a little off the course lately because the world is changing so much. So, what is the real course. What is where we need to be now? And see if you can move into that place. And if it means letting go of some current plans or some current ideas about what you had in mind, and maybe where you were going to spend the holidays, or maybe what you had last year thought you would do next year. And if you can be in a place, all is well, that we are loved, that the divine feminine, this lunar energy, this part of the cycle is really giving us, nourishing us with everything that we need to not just survive, but to thrive, to be in that place of feeling well and well-being, that we can trust that the divine is benevolent and will take care of us. And that whatever topsy-turvy things are going on in our world, that we have a place in the heart of the divine. So take a breath with that. Yeah. And now I would like to read you the Lemurian activation code card number 11. Even though we're in our 12th moon, I didn't do 2 lunar cycles last month. I just did 1. So here we are with Star Center 11. And I invite you to close your eyes and let these words, the words of the Star Mothers that came through me over almost 4 years ago, let them come along with you and flow into you. Let yourself feel how they wash over you. Take a breath. Star Center 11. From Mother Gaia comes the origin of your humanity, sending the frequencies of her crystalline grid upward through your crystalline structure. She is your regenerating strength. Through her, you are stabilized and revitalized. All is in divine order when you acknowledge and esteem your relationship and bond to the Earth Mother. And take another breath, and you're welcome to leave your eyes closed as I go a little more deeply into this message with you. So it begins by saying, from Mother Gaia comes the origin of your humanity. So we know that we come from the dirt of the earth. Our biology as a single cell organism comes from the very beginning of life on this planet. And then sending the frequencies of her crystalline grid upward into your crystalline structure. She is your regenerating strength. So we know that Gaia, our beautiful planet, is covered inside with a crystalline grid. And it's part of the inside-outside communication between the magnetic field and the mantle of the Earth's crust, and the crystalline grid that is in there. And she sends her frequency, Gaia, the Earth, up through us because we come from her, up through our crystalline grid. And through that, we're stabilized and revitalized. You know, when people say, I really need to ground, or someone says, you really are not grounded, go outside, walk in the grass, take off your shoes. Exactly. When we stand on the earth, whether it's grass or sand or dirt or a stone, whatever it is, when we stand on the earth and we tune into that crystalline grid, we are feeling and drawing the energy of Gaia up into us. That beautiful, feminine, regenerating, rebalancing energy. And our crystalline grid gets so happy. All is in divine order when you acknowledge and esteem your relationship and bond to the Earth Mother. So here the Star Mothers are saying, all is in divine order. When we see how we are as humans living on the earth, when we acknowledge that we couldn't be here without the earth. Certainly the earth was doing fine without us, but we need all of the resources that she has to survive. We need water, we need sunshine, we need dirt, we need wind, we need snow and rain. We need all of these things. We need her magnetic field. We need the atmosphere. We need all of that to survive. We need the plants. We need the animals. So without all of these beautiful things coexisting on Mother Gaia, we wouldn't live. And if you look a little more deeply into the part that the Star Mothers say to esteem our relationship as well as our bond, that means we acknowledge how important the earth is to us and that we're grateful that we're not taking advantage of the resources that she freely offers. It just happens. Sun just happens, rain happens, wind happens, plants happen. But pumping the resources out of the ground to give us bigger, fancier things, that's not esteeming. If we were to take, say, a quart of motor oil and go into the grocery store and pour it over the vegetables, they wouldn't be edible. But there are some places on the planet where cars are allowed to burn oil without regulation. And so the air is really polluted. And that pollution gets inside of people as a form of metal. It also gets inside of the food that they grow and they ingest it, a form of metal. And a lot of the food grown in this country is grown on the side of highways where exhaust settles. It's heavy, so it settles down and we ingest that. This is not esteeming Gaia and her creations. Gaia herself, her amazing creations, and ourselves. It's not esteeming us either. So, as we look into our future and as we live in our now, what can we do that says to beautiful Gaia how much we appreciate her? Food for thought. What I'd like to do now is bring you a direct message in this moment, these times, from the Star Mothers. So let's take a breath. And settle into your being. Let the outside stay on the outside and let the inside begin to soften and become more connected with the center of your body, with all of your star centers running from the first chakra up to the top of your head. Allow that energy to just breathe you Dear shining ones, we step into your circle. We are delighted to be with you for this moon, Mele'ha's moon time. Oh, perhaps Mele'ha, that's a new name for your meetings. Perhaps, perhaps not. We like to tease you, you know. So we are here with you to bring the essence of this moon time forward for you to experience, and to remind you that we, the Star Mothers, specifically chose a planet with a moon that affected the water of the planet. This is a very beautiful and delicate balance. Your body, as you know, is made of 80% water. The planet is also covered with 80% water and many inhabitants within the water. This is a perfect balance. And this is part of the cycle of having humanity living on the earth. And also the feminine energy of the moon. Women's cycles from the beginning have been in tune with the moon until they were not, because you were not living under the moon and stars and under the sun. You were living in boxes with controlled lighting. Day and night are regulated by something other than what is going on outside. The moon, the tides, the divine feminine, all being accentuated now as your earth goes through her many changes. Yes, the earth herself is going through changes, as are the people. This is a cycle. We are not afraid of this cycle. And the less afraid you are, the easier the cycle will be, the more cohesive you and your communities will be. There is only power inside of you, so there is no reason to have fear of what is outside. It is change, just like every moment of change in the moon cycle. You may see the moon as full or new or a quarter or a sliver, but every day she is something different, something unique. So it is for the energy of your planet, of your country, of your city, of your street, of your home, of your body. Have you noticed? Every day your energy, your feelings are just a little different. So it is with the moon. Just notice, beloved shining ones, your rhythm, her rhythm, your cycles, her cycles. And those cycles are broader than you imagine. Perhaps sometime during the day, you are feeling lots of energy, and other time, not. Perhaps sometime during the week or the month, the moon, you feel more or less energy. This is because of the influence of the moon. So the more attention you pay, the more acknowledgement you give that you're not in charge of everything, the easier it will be for you. You can work with these energies instead of pushing. That sounds good, doesn't it? Yes. Take a breath, please. So we ask you this, dear beloved starseed, darling, shining beings. We love you so greatly. We touch Mele'ha's heart with our love in hopes that she can pour it forth in her words to you. Here is our direction for you, dear children of the Star Mothers. We ask you to spend as much time in the moonlight as you can, especially when the moon is full. But please try to acknowledge her each day, each evening, no matter what the phase is. Step out away from your building just for a moment and acknowledge that she is there and that she has a magnetic field that influences your magnetic field. And if you can stand on the earth, reaching your arms up to the heavens, let that magnetic field pour through you. And perhaps imagine this analogy as a stringed instrument would be, attached at both ends and played or plucked by the musician. There is a vibration that is created that runs the whole length of the strings, and the other strings around it feel it. This is you, dear shining ones. You with your feet on the earth and your arms stretched to the sky, to the moon, to the stars, to the sun. The cosmic symphony of one note is playing through you, and it is joined, your one note, by the other notes of those on the earth who are doing this when you are. And the heavens celebrate this symphony because they know that you are the ones who are creating this cosmic community, this attention to the earth, the moon, and the heavens, this symphony working with them, being in tune with the moon, and letting that music, that harmony, all of that, letting it flow from you and letting it flow to you. Take a breath, please. And sink a little more deeply into the musical metaphor. You know your cells are listening to the vibration. They are held in water, and water resonates and vibrates. So you see, beloved ones, that this whole planetary creation really supports your being a part of it. You are dearly loved by us. We stand always with you in your circle, wherever you create it. Just call us. We are never far. Think of us, speak to us, feel us in your hearts as we feel you in ours. You are our children, and we love you greatly. We step back now and complete these words for this cycle. We will be back. Take a breath. And another. And gently open your eyes. Oh, thank you, Star Mothers. And thank you, beautiful community, for coming together with me for this lunation. I love knowing that you're all there, that we're doing this together. I want to thank all of the translators all over the world who are translating these lunations and getting them to the people in their languages. Thank you so much. We are part of a beautiful star family. And as the Star Mothers say, no matter what's going on in the world, we have each other, we have this community, and we have this and many other times together. More to come. Please take very good care of yourself. I send my love and my appreciation to all of you. May your wellness, your well-being, and your wisdom continue to shine